Alright, Shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Makakadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutation to the brothers and the few sisters out there. Out there is like foreigners for the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Shalom, and the Hebrew, which means peace. As we all know, we're not living under a rock, we're not foolish. We've been watching, praying for days like we had Monday. And we got a beautiful, indication that things are not getting better. It's getting to the point of the key word, what this article says, a collapse. A major collapse, a major fall is about to take place. Alright, the market showing that everything's interconnected. And instead of disconnecting everything so everything could prosper, these morons, these leaders decide to connect everything together. So if one fall, they all fall. Showing how rigged the market is, and they said that even Nancy Pelosi and other people, insiders, they already sold or protected themselves out of this particular article's headline, while everybody else meant to suffer. It says apocalypse now or later. Now the key word apocalypse, which is ironically funny, is a Greek word, but the equivalent of that Greek word is revelations. So revelations, which means, when you break it down, apocalypto, all it means is to unveil. But they like to play with words. So apocalypse, they always refer, because what? The book of the apocalypse, or the book of Revelations, is the end times. So this is apocalypse now, which is actually a movie too, by the way, or later. So August always been hectic. August, September, early August, September. It's always the same thing with the market. Always the same. They always lose a lot. But this particular time, it was the timing of it, which was the attack that those people that's supposed to be the victims of the world, the greatest victims, simultaneously the greatest aggressors of the world, attacked. And the recall of that attack. So this all happened around the same time. What the stock market collapse means, and what the Fed fears most. So they're telling us there is a collapse. So there's a lot of breadcrumbs that's being thrown out there. Collapse, plagues, famine. Alright. There's a lot of things that's being told. World War III, that's a common thing spoken. Now, before it was never spoken like that. Now it's being spoken. Since the American economy is too financialized to withstand any sustained drop in asset price. Bullshit. And the carnage out there in the markets, and things have been moving with the force of typhoon. Japan, Nikita 225 plunged more than 12% on Monday, and what was the biggest single day drop since the Black Monday in 1987. As of this writing, the Dow has dropped some 1,000 points, while the Nasdaq has catered nearly 4% in what has turned out to be a global market rout. The triggers for the sell-off are clear enough and been well covered in the financial media. Friday's disappointing U.S. job report ignited fears of the U.S. recession, which they been said was going to happen. They play with people, man. They've been playing with you all this time, and it so happens to be an election year. So happens to be an election year. Every time these things happen, there's always a turn. The term revolution means to overturn. There's always an overturn of something. That's why you had the death of that woman, Sonia. I forgot her last name. But the way it happened, and everybody said it was spiritual, because there's a dark force that's, well, not the Most High. It's allowing these things to happen. He's using the left hand side to allow certain things to happen. So there's going to be an economic crash, showing that everything's connected, and everybody's money, everybody that's trusted in the banks, at the end of the day, is going to be looking foolish. All right, trusting in this bank, trusting in this system, Salakia. That's why I got to bring the scripture out. Got to. Every time this needs to be taught, because we was literally trained. Maybe it was another one. It was literally trained, built up to believe this is the route, this is the way of life. All right. And the scriptures clearly tell you. Matter of fact, before I get that, I get something apocrypha. 39 and 120. So Rock 39. It's 26. The principal things for the whole use of a man's life are water, fire, iron, salt, flour, of wheat, honey, milk, and blood of grape, and oil and clothing. It does not say anything about, yes, you have to have a barter system, but it was not the end all to be all in riches and gain. But we've been trained to do something foolish, to think foolishly. Alright? And that's a thought process that goes throughout the whole history of man. Proverbs 23 and 4. It says, labor not to be rich, cease from thine own wisdom. So we've been laboring to be rich. I seen an article, basically, we had Europe was known for having less work hour days and pay their people well. Now they're trying to change that. Now they're even trying to change that in the United States. So people are just constantly in a paper chase. It says, but thou set thy eyes upon that which is not, for riches certainly make themselves wings. They fly away as an eagle towards heaven. So we was literally trained, molded in our minds to believe this is the way. The paper chase. So now, if all this paper chasing, the financial institutions where they're supposed to hold your finances, it's collapsing. It's fucking collapsing. And why is it collapsing for? Oh, because they want to bring in Revelation 13 and 16. Alright? Which this whole system is built on credit. Let me get the other one. Proverbs 22 and 7. The rich ruleth over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender. So the whole world right now is indebted to the people that have been borrowing. So now the markets was supposed to be holding your finances, holding. You work hard your whole life. You have savings. All of it now is in danger. All in danger because they put the money together. While the rich stay richer and they get the heads up. He that soweth iniquity shall reap vanity, and the rod of his anger shall fail. So all people have been doing is sowing to themselves the things of this world. And now the reward is magnificent. All right. So this whole thing, this whole concept is a trap. And how can you trust a market so volatile the way it is? You can't. All right. It says Zephaniah 1 and 10 to the point. And it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord, there shall be a noise of a cry from the fish gate, and howling from the second, and a great crashing from the hills. So it says, howl ye inhabitants of Maktesh, for the merchant people are cut down, all that bear silver are cut off. Maktesh is what you call a financial trade, a financial system, where they traded. When you have ships are able to come to a location from different parts of the world, they trade in goods. So if there's a financial crash of the fish gates, and that's the number one product as retail sell to the people to eat and so forth, and there's a crash where you can't get the fish is not coming in, so people end up starving to death. All right. Well, all means are necessary of way of living is not easy access. Then what is left? That's what it says. How for ye inhabitants of Maktesh? Because people, those that's trading. You got, if you look at it in a point of view, if you have a harbor where everybody comes somewhere in the Mediterranean, everybody comes and trade at this part from different parts of the world. You know how much money you can make if your goods are a sale of silk, and you trade in with somebody that sells with a fruit, exotic fruit. So you gotta do a little barter system. But what happens if that trade route is no longer be able to trade? There's no finances and people lose. And when the people lose, they're not able to get anything that they desire. The way the market is, despite how they have it, it's still a barter system. So, but the financial part of this barter system is crashing because this system is fraudulent. And those that set it up, these different trade routes, these different trades, are financially and physically enjoying the fruits of their labor while everybody else suffers. And that's the name of the game. The rich stays richer and the poor remains poor. So there is going to be a great crash, what they call an apocalyptic situation that's going to take place. So the apocalypse now or later, it doesn't matter. It's still in that time frame. All hell's about to break loose. Everything's about to be lost. There ain't gonna be no guarantee of running to the bank, a bank run, where people could take hard assets in order to live. They're truly gonna crash this system. Who knows how and when, and reset it. And when everything wants to go back to some sort of normalcy, that's when everybody has to wear that, you know what. Revelation 13 and 16, MOTB. That's the end game. So we just gotta sit back, watch the Lord at work, because there's some beautiful times we're in. With that being said, shalom to the elect and the nation of Israel. Shalom.